All right, anyway, thank you all for coming and being part of this, and I know Jeff worked hard, and John, and to get you guys here, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to do this and talk to your fellow students who aren't here. Couldn't give you the same respect right now. But we really are going to pitch this hard, and we think that there's a great story behind this, and I've seen a lot of new changes, and so my name's Lauren Shepard, I'm Director of Media Relations, and we really try to put these briefings together for the student media so they know beyond what's happening right in front of their face, what else is happening within the university and campus community, and can tell the folks who read their publications what's going on from that perspective. And so we try to bring experts and people who, from administration, staff, and faculty to really talk to the media and tell them what it is that they do and why, and so that they have a different perspective and can really write about different things. So without further ado, I'll just let, I guess, Jeff get started. All right?
Sure. My name is Jeff Barnett. I'm Assistant Dean of Students at Stony Brook, and an important part of my job is I'm the Assistant Dean of Students for Community Development and major campus events. And an important part of that community development piece is, I think, helping to work with many other constituents at the university about raising the level of pride and spirit and sense of community here on campus. And what we're here to talk about today are many of the very exciting initiatives that span across the campus related to spirit, Stony Brook spirit, Stony Brook pride, Stony Brook traditions. Starting to create a context and framework, big picture, is that what we know is that Stony Brook's a relatively young university. We're sort of in our infancy, or maybe even tween years at this point now, with the 50th anniversary mark. We're in our 51st year. And so in the lifespan of our university, we have not existed quite as long as other places that have these very deeply entrenched sense of pride in their institution, these deeply entrenched traditions that everybody participates in. When you go to Miami, you do a certain thing at a game. And this is all part of community development. And community is common unity. It's those things that we all participate in and cuts across all aspects of the community. And we think that an important way that we have begun to develop that here through the university is very much through the Stony Brook University Marching Band, as well as many of the other marketing communications and other initiatives that are happening here. So what we wanted to talk about today was the Office of Athletic Bands, some of the history, some of the highlights, some of the recent updates, and projections as to where we go, hopes for our future. And then also talk a lot about the other things that are happening on campus, sort of surrounding the band, stemming from the band, but also now independent initiatives that can be connected to the band into the larger initiatives of Spirit of Pride too. So some highlights of the Stony Brook Athletic Band is that we're only in our third year. The band was born in the fall of 2006, and I think we've become legitimately the fastest growing band in the country. We started off with 17 members at very first band camp, and that very first year, very first performance. And to date, we this year have now enrolled in the band 110 students. The group has become a very tight student community with close relations with faculty and staff, and have realized in their very short tenure and growth period a tremendous amount of success beyond what I think any of us ever expected or could have predicted from the group. They've been featured in Newsday on February of 2007, the cover of the Long Island Life section of Newsday. And we have some of these same, our very famous band members came this year, and other alumni at this point. They were the official band of the New York Arena Football Dragons this past spring, and played at every home game for the Football Dragons, and they made a generous scholarship donation. The band has a studio recorded CD entitled Hey. They performed at Islanders games, New York State Capitol. And so, but the most important thing I think of the band is that the strong student community here that has existed and that we've grown to develop over time. So, John, you want to add some things about where we are, successes we've had?
Sure. The Stony Brook, the band started 2 years ago, as Jeff mentioned, and it's been, I was hired at that point to start the marching band. It's been quite an interesting and exciting ride. And I've watched the band actually evolve over the course of that time. The first mission, I guess, was to have a band get off the ground and have a marching band to perform it. We're Division I athletic program here, so we wanted to have a marching band because we didn't have it. At the football game specifically, and as we were just talking before we started this conference, Pamela, we were mentioning how we got into basketball season and said, well, what now? And it was just 2 years ago we were trying to decide, well, can we play all the games, some of them, and so forth. And I'm looking back now and realizing, boy, our mission has really changed because, as Dean Barnett points out, we've gone from being the band performing at the athletic events to being kind of a focal point for this whole mission of pride and developing pride and traditions on campus. And I think a lot of the traditions we haven't had, and we get to develop these and explore them with the band, and it's a lot of fun to do that. But they wind up being campus traditions too, and they evolve, they take on a little bit of another life of their own. And I've seen the changes in the athletic department in terms of how they've developed some of their hiring and how they're running things. And we've gone to being the marching band to developing the show on game day. We try to develop the show for the football games. We want to start the show 20 minutes before the game starts, and the show is going to end after the game is over. When we play the alma mater, we have a situation with the team. They come over to us and they hold the helmets up or what have you. We play the alma mater, the dance team, the cheerleaders come and join us. And it's been that bonding with we worked to bond with the teams and the dance teams and the cheerleaders. It's been that grouping that's really helped us develop the spirit and pride and really change what I think our mission started out as, to become one of being represented, being the face of spirit and pride on campus. Another thing that I see coming from the band is a mission that we have is outreach into our community. We're playing a parade, performing in a parade, holiday parade in Setauket, and I found going through the meetings leading up to this parade that community is always wants to have a relationship with the college, and they're very anxious to have it. It hasn't always been a great relationship, and I know the university really tries to maintain that. And the band makes it a little easy. Everybody loves a band, and the community really seems to be, when I go to these meetings, they are very appreciative. There's nothing they like better than to have the band, have the dance team, the cheerleaders. Wolfie's going to be there. I mean, they think this is the be-all, end-all. I mean, they're thrilled because they really see it as a university really reaching out to them. And I see that that's a part of our mission as well.
The band has become some of the best Stony Brook ambassadors that we have here at the university. So just to give you a sense of what they do, some of the performances they have. This semester alone, the band will have performed over 30 performances, and that's on track with where we were last year. We did a total of 60 performances throughout the academic year. That's a lot, especially for a class, which the band is, a one-credit class. So students that are registered and members and participate go above and beyond that one measly credit, academic credit that they get, and they earn their good grades. So they perform at athletic events, major campus events, community outreach, as John mentioned as well. And the athletics is not just football and basketball, although maybe that's where the first initial plan began. They played at, they do tournament travel, they do away games, went up to Brown this year. Last year we played at Hofstra, we'll be playing again away at Hofstra next year. I know many of the band members have now gone to ice hockey out on their own, volleyball games, soccer games, and they just do this to support the teams, to support Stony Brook. It's not anything we organize with them, but it's evidence that this is such a spirited group, and I think that's become infectious throughout the community and throughout the campus here. So much so that I was extremely surprised and in awe when at homecoming, the end of our homecoming game this year, we had hundreds of people running onto the field, which I think is evidence of some of the success that many other initiatives here on campus have had. So it's not just about the band, but what's come from the band now and what's existed also even before the band, but the band has given us an opportunity to bring people together who have thought long and hard about these sorts of spirit and pride related initiatives anyway. And it's become a way to attract people to a common discussion and talk about spirit and pride.